Before I share my week 22 pregnancy updates, I want to take a moment to honor Lennox and Henry. It is impossible to talk about this pregnancy without feeling the presence of the two boys who made me a mom first. They are not here in a way that I wish that they were, but they are still a part of every heartbeat, every breath, and every hope that I carry forward. This pregnancy isn't a replacement. It's a continuation of love. It is a complicated, bittersweet chapter that exists because of them and alongside them. Lennox and Henry, I carry you with me always. Now, for those of you watching who have also experienced loss, I see you and you are not alone. Sharing these stories help. It softens the edges just a little bit. And if you want to share your baby's names in the comments, they are so welcome. With that said, let's talk about week 22. Because I am 22 weeks pregnant, and this is my weekly updates. Now, for those of you who don't know, I gave birth last year at 22 plus 0 weeks gestation, twin boys who sadly died after a few days. So week 22 is special to me, and it's also been a very difficult week. So let's get into it. My symptoms this week, I have now again started to produce colostrum, or raw milk in Norwegian, and I struggle to find comfortable ways to both sit and lie down. There's also a lot of movement and pressure in my belly, and we've also been able to see him move from the outside, which is such a wild feeling. I am still peeing a lot, and I don't expect that to slow down even a little bit. Now, these are all symptoms that I also had with the twins at this week, and it's set me off pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. My cravings this week, I have been craving ice lollies so badly. I've eaten like 5 a day probably. So yeah. And also any kind of sour things I've really wanted. My feelings this week, well, you guessed it. This week has mentally been hell. I needed to do several checkups this week, extra ones, I think we're up to 4, just to feel safer. Now, not all of the checkups have been very panicked, but some have. But there is a deep sense of fright in all of them. I definitely feel like I don't know my body, or that I can't really trust it anymore. So it's very, very hard, and I'm hoping that as time progresses, hopefully, that it'll be easier and feel better. All of the doctors and the midwives have been so understanding, so kind, and reassuring. So it has made me feel a lot more at ease, luckily. It finally feels like we're getting the help and follow-up that we need. And now, as I'm filming this, I am officially further along in a pregnancy that I have ever been. And it is filled with both heartache and a lot of hope hand in hand. The size of the baby this week. Baby is now the size of a papaya. It is the size of a long-tailed chinchilla. And it's the size of a French press. So that means that it is about 420 grams and about 27.5 centimeters long. And technically, it's about the size of an owl. Here's a little bump date. And some facts for you this week. Bambi now resembles a very, very tiny child. And I've seen it in real life a year and a half ago. And some of you might also have seen it on social media. So we know it does actually resemble a very tiny newborn baby. Now, Bambi has now started to find his rhythm, but his rhythm doesn't always align with mine, obviously, because when I'm moving, I'm rocking him to sleep and vice versa. So when I'm slowing down, he'll be speeding up, hitting and kicking. And I've seen on the ultrasound, he's like bent like a shrimp. So there's a lot of movement going on from all sides and angles. His kidneys are now developed enough to take over the production of amniotic fluid, and that task was previously done by the placenta. So the baby is now becoming more and more independent, if you can call it that. And he can also process some of his waste, bodily waste. However, most of it still passes through the placenta and into my circulation of this bosom. So we're still very much codependent and connected, but he's becoming more and more independent, and hopefully he's going to stay in here for several more weeks. And currently there is no sign of preterm labor, so let's hope that it stays that way. And that's all for this week, and I'll see you next week. Bye!